This is something I saw, and again, on one episode that I did, I talked about how parents are using their children as their retirement plan. But this one is talking about the bank of mom and dad. Young adults still rely on parents by shout out to the first time listeners out there. This is your first time listening. The names of the authors of these articles just I'm assuming that's Anakin, but like Anneken, Tappy, January 29th, 2024. All right, y'all, we're getting some more recent articles. Many young adults don't think of themselves as financially independent from their parents, according to data from the Pew Research Center. They be coming through. Less than half of young adults surveyed by Pew said they're completely financially independent. All right, less than 50%, though this jumps up to more than 2/3 and broaden it to being mostly financially independent. Young women were more likely than young men to say that they were mostly financially self-sufficient. Shout out to the women earning more money than men, as they say, and the college degree situation. The top two areas young adults received help was to pay for household expenses, phone bills, and streaming services. Shout out. I know this is talking about parents, but when it says saying that women are more financially independent or self-sufficient is the word they're using than men. Where's the data about the women who are getting their bills paid for by people who aren't their parents? The top two areas young adults receive help for, okay, let's say household expenses, phone bills, and streaming services. I mean, if we're going to count streaming services, most people are sharing accounts. That's why Netflix did what they did. Looking at the parents, nearly 60% have provided financial support to their adult kids, defined as a group age 13 to 34. I mean, I was in that group, age 13 to 30 best. I would say it has to be above 22, because if you're going to college, say I get a full ride scholarship to college, but I'm deciding to stay at home, I wouldn't want those, set of kids or adults, technically young adults, to be included in this percentage, because you're going to college right now, full time in the relative going to college age. Supportive parents, 2/3 surveyed young adults said that their parents did a lot to prepare them to be independent adults, but the economy had other plans for them. Not true. Not true. Financial literacy rate is too high. People have too much when it comes to student loan debt. Student loan debt. Your parents did not prepare you at all when it comes to student loans. Hence the student loan situation. They didn't prepare you at all in mass when it came to getting a degree/education that could actually allow you to, pay for things in life. Fail there. Yeah, no, 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 no. Between the pandemic and also to the economy, if we're talking about ages 18 to 34, this is back in millennials. What is the midway? It's cutting off the early 80 babies, millennials, but this is most millennials and early Gen Z. Back in millennials and early Gen Z who graduated, 2022, 2020, 2022. That's early. That's early Gen Z. The issue is when Gen Z / the back end millennials graduate college in the pandemic era, for those who graduated then, the economy wasn't terrible. Our lifestyle had changed, but people were trying to hire somebody. Maybe not be in your field, but money was out here. Let's be very clear. All right. 2/3 of surveyed young adults said their parents did okay. Between the pandemic era inflation spike, high housing costs. No, see, I need to get a roommate. All right. And inflation didn't go up that crazy. As someone, living through it, inflation didn't go up that crazy. As I spoke, I believe on the last episode, that how much did you inflate your lifestyle? Not that the cost of goods that they use to track inflation increase. You're spending more money, not because the price of things has increased, but you just decided to spend more money. I.e., during the pandemic, you decided to go on vacation when you should have paid down your student loan debt. I think that's gonna be my thing for the rest of my life. Y'all was on vacation when y'all should have paid down your student loan debt. All right. And layoffs in certain sectors, young adults aren't facing the easiest conditions. Also, too, don't let this be a knock as someone who stayed at home, right? Supportive parents. It's one thing if you're staying at home and you're not moving forward financially in your career, however you want to phrase it. And it's another thing if you just, bumming at the house when you're living with your parents. But most people are graduating college with student loan debt. I think it should be recommended that you, in like the general route, that you stay at home until your student loan debt is paid off, since the student loan debt is such a big situation. And then on top of, they're going to complain about inflation, housing costs, things like that. Stay at home, pay off your debt, build up your savings. And in that time as well, because it's going to take a couple of years, you're going to be advancing your career. And then by the time you get your debt paid off, you have some years in your career, assuming you picked a proper career field where you can actually make some money out here, you're going to be in a position where it's time to move out. That, hey, you got a positive net worth, you got 3 to 6 months of expenses, and hopefully your financial literacy has increased, and you're ready to actually get out here in the world. It doesn't make any sense for people to go out here when they're not ready to financially do it. Not to mention, let's be very clear. 3-income household is better than 2-income household. Everybody talking about here they got to get multiple jobs. Assuming you're working financially, it should be a benefit to your parents. It shouldn't be less of a burden because you should be bringing in more money than what your expenses are. I mean, let's just be very clear. All right. Not to mention once you get, up in age, I remember once I started going to college and I was staying at home for my last 3 years, the AC and the heat wouldn't kick on when I was home because mom was like, yeah, ain't nobody home. We're not used to nobody being home right now. So, we turned it off. So that type of stuff goes down. You're a young adult, so you're probably going out more, things like that. You're probably be feeding yourself more, going to have to eat more, things like that. So there shouldn't be a true increase financially on your parents if you're out here making your money and taking care of your bills. Some of y'all need to pay off your parents' student loan debt, like I did, the Parent Plus loan. Not that you have to, but you want to talk about, hey, it's not like I was out here bumming for free. Y'all see it. Y'all can check, my Instagram, my TikTok, might be on Twitter too. I paid off well over $20,000 in Parent Plus loans. So I just wasn't out at home doing nothing. And then at my house, everybody's house is different. We got to pay tithes. So, as Drake said, it's gross what I net. I was paying tithes too. That whole time I was paying off my student loan debt on top of that. And the tithe was 10%. For those who don't know, and that was 10% of my gross. So I could have paid off my debt way faster if I didn't pay tithes. Not that I would have, but just far from a financial standpoint. While young adults of today are more likely to have a college degree, right, and work full time than their counterparts 30 years ago, they're also in more debt. To pay for college and housing. I want to say this. I do not read these articles ahead of time. This is why I always talk about student loans, because when we talk about millennials and younger, the student loan situation is the biggest financial mark on all of us as far as being part of the millennial generation and younger. Student loans is destroying and has destroyed this generation and the ones after. Equally helping out their offspring doesn't go unnoticed by parents' budgets either. Okay, here we go. More than 1/3 said helping their children financially over the past year has never affected their own financial situation. That's what I'm talking about. Your parents shouldn't be helping you financially in the sense of whatever bills they were paying for from a housing standpoint. Let's say they're paying, obviously they're paying the rent or mortgage, groceries, things like that. Groceries shouldn't cost that much in the sense of you should be able, eat what you're eating. Right. I talk about utilities. Look, you grown now, so your ass gotta get out the shower. Make sure you turn them lights off. Right. I feel like I'm Terry Crews off Everybody Hates Chris right now. As soon as I see a light on nobody in the room, I go in there, I turn that joker off. Why is this water running? Yeah, don't run up the cost. Take faster showers, things like that, or help out. Right. Or help out, whether it's taking that off, the student loan payment that your parents have to make for a Parent Plus loan, or chipping in some money. But if you coming out of college making $40,000-$50,000 and you staying at home, even if you have student loan payment, hopefully you don't have a car payment and credit card debt, but a lot of people do as well. On top of that, you should still be able to help out where needed if your parents need it, so they're not quote unquote supporting you here for this 1/3. And then on top of that, make some progress financially. All right. Give me a second. I'll be right back. All right, y'all, my bad. But yeah, if you're a child and you're staying at home and you're past that relative, graduating college age, that 21, 22 age, you should be working and helping out financially. I wasn't out at home just bumming it. You should be doing what you can to make progress financially so you don't put your parents in that position. Because regardless of what the numbers say, a lot of people, when they move out, are still dealing with getting help from their parents from a financial standpoint. All right. But again, y'all get a quick article. Again, the Bank of Mom. Oh, snap. Here we go. The Bank of Mom and Dad, Young Adults Still Rely on Parents by Anakin Tappy to Pay, January 29th, 2024. All right. Now